recall the state rested. Ms. Rowe,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you may call your first witness.
Thank you. And I would call Mr. Jeremiah Farley.
You raise your right hand, please. You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You may be seated. Ms. Rowe, you may inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Farley, could you identify yourself for the record?
My name is Jeremiah Farley.
Mr. Farley. Do you remember the incident that is at issue at trial today?
Yes.
And were you present at the DSHS office on the date of this incident?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have business there?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you come into contact with Mr. Randy Rainey, the security officer?
Yes.
Did your contact with Mr. Rainey begin in the main hallway?
Yes, ma'am.
Did Mr. Rainey try to prevent you from entering into the DSHS office?
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
Overruled.
Yes, ma'am.
Did the contact that occurred happen in the threshold or doorway of the DSHS office?
Yes, ma'am.
Who made contact with who first?
Mr. Randy made contact with me.
Was that contact warranted? Yes or no?
Objection, Your Honor. That called.
Sustained.
Thank you.
Was that contact offensive?
Yes.
Did you notify security guard Rainey that his contact was offensive?
Yes, ma'am.
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to overrule that objection.
Thank you.
Did security guard Rainey touch you more than once?
Yes, ma'am.
Was security guard Rainey very close to your physical person?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ask him to get out of your personal space?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading.
Sustained.
What did you do when security guard Rainey was in your personal space?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading again.
Yeah, I'll overrule that objection.
Can you repeat it, please?
What did you do when security guard Rainey came into your personal space?
I tried to move him out of my personal space.
Did you tell him to back up?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Sustained. But
How many times did a security guard, Rainey, come very close to you?
Multiple times.
At any time, did you ball up a fist and punch the security guard?
No, ma'am.
Please describe the contact that you had with security guard Rainey.
He had me in a corner. I felt threatened. I didn't know why he was coming at me. So I pushed him away from me multiple times.
Did he sustain any injuries from those pushes?
Objection, Your Honor, calls for
I'll
speculation.
sustain that objection.
Were there any visible injuries as a result of this contact?
Objection, Your Honor,
Sustained.
again.
Did you speak to a supervisor at the DSHS office?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you ask the supervisor whether the inside lobby was a public space?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Sustained.
Did the supervisor call law enforcement?
Objection, speculation, and hearsay, Your Honor.
Sustained.
You did have communication with the supervisor.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you converse with responding officer Navarro?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you relay to him your version of what happened that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. Still trying to be very brief. Good afternoon, Mr. Farley. The video we watched, that's your recording of the events of the day, is that correct? What was your business at the DSHS office in Tumwater that day?
My own business.
Your own business?
That's what I said.
One moment. You said your own business. Would you elaborate a little further for us?
I was there to gather a FOIA request or a records request, I guess is what most people would call it. I videotaped the entry lobby to look at the community boards, different activities, different social groups, anything that there might be going on in the community. And then I attempted to go get my records request.
You pushed the security guard to get away from you? Is that true?
Yes, sir.
You physically touched Mr. Rainey, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You did not let any of the patrons there that day know in advance that you were going to be recording them, is that correct?
Objection, Your Honor, leading. and outside of the scope of direct.
Leading questions are allowed on cross-examination. And you allow an answer to this question, then you need to move on after that.
Can you repeat it again, please?
You did not let any of the patrons that were present that day know in advance that you were going to be recording them. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Rowe, anything further?
Yes, one last question. Were you recording individuals in the lobby?
No, no, ma'am.
No further questions.
You can go ahead and retake your seat, sir.
Thank you.
Assuming, was there any redirect?
Oh, no, no redirect or recross, rather.
You got a feeling.